going there this evening, so I would join you.
Alrighty. It's our final panel, and we want to really thank everyone for 2 wonderful days of information exchange and just, great ideating and participation, because that's really what this is all about. So, this panel is what's next. And thanks for coming back. And actually, before I move on, again, thanking you guys and thanking our sponsors, Harman, ClearOne, Gensler, Sextant, Sony, and Barbit, because it takes the whole team to get this done. So with the what's next, we really would like to get you guys involved, because we want to know what you're looking for, what's next, but you'll hear from our panel on what they're working on. Role of virtual reality, where is that going to be, where is that going? It's very cool. What are the applications coming up? Data-driven design, and that's something that you've heard from me a lot, because I'm really into where all of this can take us with data. New collaboration systems. There's just so many different ways that people are collaborating now. How's everything connected? We're hearing different connections, protocols, and so just really all of that. And I'd love to hear from you. So we're going to start off with, actually our panel. I want to have our panelists introduce themselves, because we've got 2 new folks that I don't think you've heard from yet.
Oh, sure.
And I'm Louis Eig from ClearOne. ClearOne's a 35-year-old company in the Pro AV space. Started out really focusing on the audio side of conference rooms. And in the past 10 years or so, we've looked at other technologies that really focus us in this Pro AV space as really the central part of an AV system. My role within ClearOne is to focus on our AV over IP products, which leverage H.264 as our standard, really low latency product, give us great flexibility to interoperate with a lot of other products. So I'll kind of be steering towards audio and video distribution in terms of looking at trends towards the future.
And so kind of move down and talk about what you guys are working on, and then kind of put it back out and see what it is that you're looking for.
Sure. So as I mentioned a few moments ago, with ClearOne, we are all about the conference room technology, but also expanding that out towards campuses, campus environments, or beyond. So what we offer on our streaming side of things, or AV distribution over the network, is an H.264 based appliance. And quite honestly, if this is a talk about what's coming, what the future really is, I would say that the future of our product is to actually be productless, is to offer you a piece of software that resides on devices that you already have in your environment, and to license our patented technology that makes that audio, makes that video perfectly synchronized, ultra high quality, reliable across your environment, whatever that is. Now that's not today. What is today is you buy boxes from us. And our boxes are extremely scalable. You buy one encoder, you buy one decoder, or you buy hundreds or thousands of them and scatter them across your campus and beyond. The reason I keep saying kind of a lot of these same terms is that as H.264 is so prevalent, it is everywhere, one of our core competencies, one of the things we do really well, is the fact that, well, if there are other devices speaking H.264, like an IP security camera, or a digital signage player, or a video conferencing codec, those can natively talk to us. You don't need to re-encode that. It's already spitting out our protocol, our compressed video stream and audio stream. Where this goes from there is the ability to leverage our great intellectual property and do it with fewer and fewer of our devices. But one of the other great things we do is within our encoders, where we are grabbing these streams and sending them out in really low latency, 50 milliseconds, 3 or 4 frames of video. Where this becomes really important is our encoding engine has the ability to simultaneously send out different streams, depending on how you're going to use them. right? We can all picture in a commercial environment, in an educational environment, you've got that big screen in the front of the classroom. You want a really good-looking image up there, and let's face it, the stream is coming from within the classroom, going to the projected image in the in that same classroom. You're not traversing networks, right? Bandwidth isn't so much of a concern. So that could be a high bitrate stream, and again, it's not so high. You know, maybe it's 12 or 14 or 15 megabits a second. But if I'm going to also stream to an iPad or an iPhone that's in that room, if I'm going to stream across campus to somebody who can't get out of the dorm today because they broke their leg, they can watch it on a wireless device, and maybe that stream can be a much lower bit rate. And of course, if I need to go to another campus, if I need to get out beyond a firewall, I can build a unicast stream. So my devices, my encoders, are extremely agile. The other thing we can do is a lot of great video manipulation. We're an audio company. We're audio DSPs. That's where our history is. That's where our roots are. So why not think of us as a video DSP? You need to crop out some content from that video stream? No problem. We've got the tools that let you crop. We can let you scale. We can let you rotate video, overlay text, do a video wall, do video windowing, all within these tools, within these encoders and decoders. And now you've got a series of edge-based devices that are extremely capable and compliant and flexible. They can do whatever you need them to do at a moment's notice with the tools that we provide. So it's more than just encoders and decoders. It's the tools that reside behind them that make the system so flexible and so usable. That's really where we think that the future of AV is going. Here we are summed up in 4 quick bullet points. We're scalable and flexible, extremely reliable, 24/7 applications, command and control, and oh yeah, the bottom one, extremely affordable. We are cost effective against how our industry is used to routing audio video. Matrix switchers, we become a very cost effective solution compared to those matrices. And of course, you know, I've got to give you a little bit of a flow diagram showing you, all right, the network switch is where all of this resides. If you notice here, there's no centralized piece of hardware. There's no piece of hardware that has to interface with a control system. There's no piece of hardware centralized that's doing video windowing or video walls, because these are all of these tasks are happening at the edge, inside our encoders and decoders. And that's really where the power of this ecosystem really lives, is that the encoders and decoders have enough processing power to do a bunch of extra tasks so that it really protects these devices in the future as your needs change.
So, not quite on that. I actually have no slides, but they're all.
I really want to emphasize the augmented reality.
No?
1, 2, there we go. So the augmented reality, right? So I noticed when the Pokemon Go was released and was hot, and I guess it still is a bit, but the students were marching around our campus and going around and looking. I really think that's a tool that can be used for educational purposes, and I don't know if that's being worked on or if it's something that's emerging. I would think that it should be if it's not, and I would definitely be interested in seeing that, any presentations that would be coming up there. So,
what are you working on specifically for education? Can you come
That's-
on?
Am I here? Hello. Look into, and we're interested in what kind of scenarios you think would be valuable too.
It seems to me it would dovetail very nicely with what historically we've been calling digital signage, right? There's interactive digital signage, and now there's the next step where it's location-based and on your portable device. We've all been dreaming about it for years, but no manufacturer in our space has really embraced it to that granularity.
We've got geolocation, and
Yes.
that's great. It seems to take it to another level, but it's also about the narrative and the storytelling
Yes.
abilities, and I think that's what was so captivating about Pokemon Go. I think it certainly, cooled off quite a bit,
Yes.
but I think what was exciting is you could see the use cases for it, whether it's travel, an educational component, a pedagogy, and I think that's what's really exciting people now.
thanks.
So, anybody else? Some technologies that you really that you've seen out there that whether you go to, certainly the consumer, everybody's certainly in corporations. There's the new shiny toy that everybody's seen at CES. It's like, okay, I want this, and it is a reality for in a lot of corporate campuses, folks, people who are working. It's like I want my experience to be like the one I have at home. And it's a real problem I know for a lot of corporations where it's like, well, they get on to Skype at home, they want to do it at work as well. So I think, some of these technologies are really being pushed from the consumer first into corporate, kicking and screaming sometimes, but it is about that experience.
Right, or Alexa for that matter, right?
Oh, sure.
Alexa, play me this song. Well, I'm in my
Yeah.
conference room. I want Alexa to start up this PowerPoint presentation.
And do it,
Yes,
actually.
absolutely.
Please, actually.
Probably be better that way. There's no doubt in my mind that these kind of capabilities will come to the commercial and enterprise environments.